gas. We've got a bayonet fitting, so that attaches up to the petrol station that sells gas and the LPG. They're all a lot different, but basically there's a big nozzle, goes on, pulls the handle to shut it on, and then you go out and press a button to fill it. But it's a good idea, just go and ask the guy at the garage, because they're all a bit different. This is the electric point for the shore power. Plug it in to get mains electric in the van. The toilet is in the back of the van. To open the toilet, press the button, open the door. There's a little blue handle you lift up to pull the toilet out. To empty the toilet, you can just lift that, turn that, and that empties, and you can refill it. To refill the toilet again, you've got a cap full of fluid, which is stored under there in a bottle, and that goes back in there. And when you're emptying it, don't forget to press the magic button to let air in and stop.
Perfect.
This is the gas indicator. If you press the button, it will show you how much gas is in there. So it's just over half full at the moment, which is adequate. So on this side you've got all the electrics, which you don't really need to worry about unless there's an issue. You've got your 240 volt fuse boxes and your 12 volt fuses. Unless there's an issue, which we'll talk you through on phone, you don't really need to touch anything, you leave it all on. Shore power cable to plug the van in, keep under there. You've got a hose pipe to fill the van up, and some levelling blocks to level the van if you need to. On this side of the van, this is your water, it's not your diesel, so don't put diesel in there. And to fill it up, you just put a hose pipe in. Or there's a funnel and a water canister, whatever you want. It just goes in there. Grey waste is here. This is just the tap. Open this up. Lets out your grey waste. It is just wastewater from your tap in your shower, so you can go down a drain, or there's usually a specific place at a campsite if you're on a campsite. Is the diesel fill up. So you've got to open the passenger door, and then your diesel is in there. Closing the sliding door, you need to make sure it's fully closed. The lock's on this side, and if it doesn't engage fully into the second lock, then the door won't open. This is only engaged in the first lock, it needs to be engaged in the second lock. Now from the outside, to solve that, you need to push it to engage it on the second lock, and then it will open. But the best thing to do to avoid it happening is just to make sure you close it properly on the first time. You don't need to slam it so much, but it's just when you close it, you just need to make sure you give it a bit of a good assertive close. Door from the inside, again, you need to make sure it's shut properly to make it easy to open. And so it's best to shut it from the top there and just to push it all the way shut. If you don't shut the door properly and it doesn't engage properly on the second lock and you're in the inside, then the door will appear that it won't open. Now you can go through the hatching outside and do it that way, but it will open if you push this really far down. You've got to give it an extra push all the way to the bottom to engage it, and then push the door outwards. Out. Now we just need to make sure that all the buttons are closed all the time to keep it in transit. If you're to use the pull-out bed, these need to be closed so the drawers come out with the bed. There's two little holes here to pull out, and the bed will pull out and bring the drawers with it. Then cushions go down like that. You turn them that way so you don't fall down the middle when you're sleeping. It's a lot better. Then to put away, it just goes back the other way, and this gets closed. Or it can just be pulled out a little bit on an evening, just to make a bigger, comfier sofa. So this is your water sensor. So if you press this button, it'll tell you what water you've got in there. At the moment it's half full, and when this red light comes on, it means that the waste is full and needs emptying. This is a multi-plus controller. You've got 3 settings: on, off or charge. You don't need to be using the charge mode for anything. You just need to leave it on the on setting, and then it will automatically decide what power to use. At the moment it's not plugged in, so the inverter's on, which means the power's coming from the batteries, and it's inverted into 240s to power your sockets. If you start overloading the system, this red light will come on, or you get low battery, this red light will come on, or temperature. But yeah, if you start overloading the system and these lights start flashing, or you're running out of battery power, this one will come on. If you plug it into the mains, then this light will switch over onto the main side, and it'll tell you that it's charging the batteries and you're running off mains. And when you're running off mains, these sockets can run off whatever the supply is. So whatever it's just a standard house supply usually. Water pump button to pump the pressure and pressurize the system is just under the sink here. So in is off and pushed out is on, and that pressures your system. So when you turn the tap on, you can hear the water pump, and that keeps it on. Now while you're using the van, you can keep the water pressure on all the time, but if you run out of water, then the pump will constantly go because you don't have any water, so you'll need to turn it off until you refill it. The cooker runs off gas, so the first thing you need to do is make sure that the gas is on. The gas is on. Shut off valves are here, so to turn the cooker on is the top one, turn the heating and the hot water on is the bottom one. When in transit, these need to be turned to the off position for safety, to shut the gas off. But then when you get to site or you stop and you want to use gas, these can both go on. So this is your heating control. So we press the button to turn it on. Heating, hot water, and this is your supply. So you see the heating's flashing at the moment, so if we click on that and we turn that up to, it goes up to 30, click on that, now the heating's on. It flashes when it's heating up. Once we've got to temperature, it'll stop flashing. Hot water, again click on. You have different settings. Eco, it heats the water up, not too hot, but it's good to have on all the time if you're at a site. Hot is standard, and you can put it on boost to get hot water quickly, but that won't work in conjunction with the heating at the same time. So the best one really to use is hot. Now the hot water's on and the heating's on. They're both flashing because the hot water will stop flashing once you've got a full tank of hot water, which holds about 10 litres of water, which is about a 6-minute shower. This is gas, so it's set on gas. The heating works best on gas, so when it's on gas, it's running on gas and 12 volts, so you can use it anywhere, you don't need to be hooked up or anything, and it gets the hottest the quickest on both. So we usually leave it on gas. It also has mix 1, mix 2 and electric settings. Now if you was on a site and you're running out of gas, or you want to plug it in, you can put it onto electric too, if it's plugged into mains power, and then it will run off the electric. It won't be as hot, it won't be quite as good, but obviously if you're running out of gas, then that's an option. So at the end you have the fan, which is how fast the hot air's blown out in your heating, and you've got eco, high and boost. Again, you can have a play around with it, but we generally find eco's enough unless it's really cold. To turn them all off, press the button, we go to the heating, turn it back down to 0, off, and now it's cleared from the top. Move along to hot water, turn that off, and that's off. And now once everything's off at the top, then everything is off. Just press back and it goes back into standby. If you try and use the heating with the gas off at the mains, then it'll lower out. So currently the gas is off, and if I try and turn the heating on, it will you'll get an error code. So it'll error code out like this. So it's important that you do the next sequence right, and don't press the back button, because you need to keep the unit on to get it back working. So you'd go under the sink, hot it and turn on the gas, up the valves so that it's got gas, and come back to the screen, press the big button, press it again to clear the code, and then the heating should come back on. If you do press the back button and turn the screen off in between that, it won't work, and you have to start again. Fridge on off button is in this corner. If you hold it down, it turns the fridge on. If you hold it on down again, it puts the fridge on. You can alter the coldness of the fridge as well. When you're shutting the fridge, make sure you give it a good shut so that it clicks. This is your step to get in the bed. Obviously it needs to be put away before you open the fridge. So this is the bathroom, your toilet. So your toilet will flush at the back as long as you've got water, your water pressures on. And this opens and closes your toilet. So before you use the toilet, obviously you need to open it, then close it when you're finished. You have to have it closed to be able to get the cassette out the back to empty it. In transit as well, we need to keep the shower on, so we try and turn it and lean it against the wall a bit and make sure it's secure so it don't come down in transit, and keep the door shut in transit. It's a standard shower. Pull it out to turn it on. It's quite powerful. You've got 100 litres of water, and you'll go through that very quickly if you have your shower on full blast. So the more you can water manage, and obviously turn your shower off as much as you can and keep it on a lower power, the longer you're going to keep water for.